This mural in the cove that you see here was all in pretty bad disrepair. A lot of it is on canvas, and it had torn and was pulled away from the plaster substrate and things like that. There'd been a couple efforts to do a restoration on it in the distant past, and they'd used a lacquer that had some color to it, and they'd trapped dirt in it, and they'd even modified the painting in some cases. And typically the restoration project didn't include any work on artwork. But since we had the scaffold up here, the legislature asked us to take care of this and do a restoration on these paintings. And it was amazing cleaning that and doing the repairs. It's just jumped out. It's striking now how beautiful it is.
How do you find the people to do this? I mean, the workers. It's
the experts that are specific to this artwork restoration, and some of the very detailed artwork is it's a limited group that kind of go around the country doing different restoration projects, and you find them, you get familiar with them, and you know who they are and who's really qualified, and there just really isn't a supply other than those folks either. It's interesting, and there's no challenge to that expertise either. They come with that resume behind them all the time. So we consider this the seventh floor. Fifth floor is the main occupied level, attic sixth. This is the seventh. We'll go on up to eighth floor here where you can get above the inner dome.
Up the stairs.
You get a good view of all the roof copper work that we did the replacement on too. There's a lot of work. People paid a lot of attention to the copper dome, but we replaced copper on all the roofs too.
They don't get to see that.
No, and this has been well detailed. It's going to last for years to come. There's a nice view down to the first floor from up here too.
Oh, wow. So which floor is this?
Here we are on the eighth floor.
The eighth floor, all right.
It's basically you can consider it the inner dome floor. So this is the inner dome that you look at as you're within the occupied portion of the State House. You look up and see the glass.
Yeah.
On the underside of this is all the copper cladding. And the chandelier is supported by a winch that's on top of this maintenance platform up here.
So they can lower it all the way down to change the bulbs?
That's right. So the project replaced all the windows in the building. So you look everywhere in here, you see light. All these windows are new. All the round windows up there replaced the original windows. And I got to say, they're just rock solid. In the past, they weren't real secure, and it's great to see everything is tight and will give a good weather-tight condition up here.
So the exterior structure of this dome, what had to be done to that?
Not a great deal to the structure. Most of the copper was badly deteriorated and actually originally kind of poorly detailed. It wasn't attached to the substructure real well, and it kind of worked loose in most cases throughout the dome. We improved all the details for the attachment to the substructure. We did repairs. There were significant repairs to some masonry areas, particularly in the gutter of the dome. And then as we went up, we had to do some plaster repairs on the outside, and then the nailers that tie all the copper into the substructure were improved and made secure. Speaking of the round windows, we built structural support for those where there was none in the past, and give them a real positive attachment. We really have a couple layers of waterproofing underneath the primary copper water tightness of the building. So it's really about 3 levels of protection.
And the Historical Society will take folks up here?
Absolutely. As of January 2nd, they began doing the tours up here again. It's a controlled tour. You can't just walk up here, but
makes sense.
Yep, they have regular tours, and people are so happy to be able to come back up here. It was a sad day when we had to shut down the tours to come up here and start the work, but it was a great day when we were able to say, you're able to go. Yeah.
Ready to do it.
Yeah. And of course, with my knowledge of the project, I love looking at the roof and all the work that happened on it. It looks like a roof to you, probably.
Well, I'm looking at a lot of pieces.
That one in particular is a standing seam roof, but it's all copper. It's similar to what I described before, is that it has a couple layers of water tightness before you even get to the finished copper level. It's the same lights that have always been there. We did improve the illumination of them a little bit, and we're able to illuminate the dome and ad astra enough so that we could eliminate the FAA lights that were up there before.
Oh.
So when you look up, you don't see the flashing strobe all the time. A lot of people don't like to go up there, Chris.
I can imagine.
Once you get to this point where it cantilevers out, there's a lot of people that kind of lock up and say, no more, I'm done.
Yeah. I will be holding on to the railings for dear life up here.
Look at all the signatures. I've looked all around for renters on the wall up here and I can't find any. We wanted to preserve as much of that history as we could. There's no need to paint over that kind of history, so
it's certainly fun
it's all going to stay. Chris, you probably remember that one of these round windows got pulled out by the 1966 tornado?
Yeah.
This is the circular staircase. Takes you up the last section up to the very top of the dome, up to the observation deck.
Ooh, okay, deep breath.
Be careful.
Here we go.
10 unique TV networks broadcasting free to 2.2 million viewers. Topeka, Lawrence, and Kansas City. Locally owned and operated 24/7, 365. We are TV 25, where there's always something on.